In this video, I'm going to show the new bike lanes recently installed on El Camino Real throughout the majority of Mountain View from about Castro Street to San Antonio Road. I recorded this on the evening of June 1st, 2025. El Camino Real is under the jurisdiction of Caltrans, the California Department of Transportation, and their plan is to install these paddle-like separators between the bike lane and the vehicle lanes everywhere that is not a conflict zone. Conflict zones are anywhere where there's a driveway or a street or a bus stop, and in those sections the bike lane is painted with dashed green paint and there are no separators. So far they have installed the separator paddles along the entire east side of the road. That's the northbound side. And they have not yet installed any on the west side of the road. That's the southbound side. I'm starting with the northbound side. Right here, leading right up to Shoreline Boulevard, the bike lane merges with the right turn lane, and so we just get sharrows, and there's no dedicated bike lane. I'm fast forwarding this bit where I'm waiting for the light to turn green at Shoreline Boulevard. The light turns green, so I start moving again, and a VTA Rapid 522 bus passes me on the left. Here, some trees have dropped a bunch of debris into the bike lane. Before this bike lane was installed, there was parallel parking along both sides and no bike lane. This is the first car that I encountered parked in the bike lane. Right here, the entire right-of-way gets narrower, so instead of having the paddles or even the green stripes, they just have a single white line at the left edge of the bike lane. A few things that are in the bike lane create rolling resistance that I would prefer wasn't there. One is the green dashed striping in the conflict areas, which I can't avoid because it fills the entire width of the bike lane. Another is these big green rectangles with white bike symbols in them, and I tend to stay to the left side of the bike lane so that I can avoid those. Another thing is the white words indicating bus stops, and another one is circular metal plates covering up utility access, which I also tend to avoid. I'll point out that none of those things are in the vehicle lanes. Again, I'm fast forwarding through the time that I waited at this stoplight. Here I chose to merge into the rightmost vehicle lane to get around a stopped VTA Route 22 bus that's at a bus stop. The alternative is I could stop behind the bus and wait for it to move again, but the rightmost vehicle lane was clear enough, so I just decided to go around it. Here's where I ended my northbound recording, just short of San Antonio Road. Now I'm heading south on the other side of El Camino. On this side, there are no paddles installed yet, but all of the paint is there already. At a few of these red traffic lights, only driveways are to my right and I don't notice any cars coming, so I just go through the red light. Here, there's a road work ahead sign in the bike lane, but I didn't see any road work after that. Here, I rang my bell because I noticed a car creeping out of a driveway, and I wanted to make sure they were aware I was coming, though I'm not sure they could hear my bell. I stop at El Monte Avenue for a few seconds. Here I encountered two more cars parked in the bike lane, pretty close together. I think it's notable that both of them were not parked in conflict zones, but they were actually parked in areas that will be protected by those paddles once they're installed. I really like that El Camino has bike lanes now. It's a lot faster to get through Mountain View than on parallel streets like Latham and California, which have a lot more stoplights and stop signs. And California has very narrow, unsafe bike lane, and Latham only has sharrows, so there's a lot of conflicts with cars on that street. Here we have the final two cars that I encountered parked in the bike lane, and they are both police cars. My shadow shows that I gesticulated in frustration because, come on. Now, I'm approaching Castro Street, and I wanted to turn left onto Castro. As I approached the intersection, I noticed that the light was green for vehicles going east across El Camino. So I approached the median and slowed down to wait for all the cars to go through so that I could turn left and follow them across El Camino. That was confusing to the last couple drivers, so they kind of paused, which was a little frustrating to me, but I don't really blame them. So I waited and they went through, and then I followed them across the intersection. So those are just some observations about the new bike lanes on El Camino. Thanks for watching.